Welcome to the Rooted Warriors, the podcast where the bonds of sisterhood are not just celebrated, but explored through laughter, tears, and everything in between. Join me and my two dearest friends as we dive deep into the roots of our own friendships, sharing stories and challenges. Whether you're looking for inspiration, advice, or just a good story, we're here to bring a piece of our sisterhood right into your life.
Hello, beautiful tribe. Today we're tackling arguably one of the most important topics in life, healing. Whether it's your body, your mind, or your spirit, the journey of healing is where real transformation begins. It's not about perfection. It's about facing the challenges head on and learning what they can teach us. Healing demands courage, but it also rewards you with strength and clarity that you never knew you had. Our guest today has her own story of healing, but this is really for anyone looking to rebuild, renew, and rise.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
So good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Hello from far away. I'm just going to introduce our guest today here with us, a very good friend of mine, Lauren Massella.
Hello.
Hello.
She is a beautiful, beautiful human. I feel like I've known for, I'm going to say about 17, 18 years now.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Been on quite the journey with her and knowing her and loving her. So we're going to talk to her about her story today. And we just love having regular, normal, everyday humans that are beastly and
That happen to have
heroic
superpowers.
and
Have persevered. Yeah.
warriors. So she is a warrior chick. And
Awesome.
I'm so glad and honored that she agreed to come here today with us. And I just love her. So I'm excited about this episode.
I love you too.
Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Yay!
me.
Welcome.
Anyways, let's check in. So, Andy, you're not sitting across from me today.
It's weird.
I have an empty chair in our new fancy spot, but I have an empty chair. Where are you?
We need like a cardboard cutout for each of us. So when we go away, you can actually look at me.
That's a great idea.
I'm hanging out in Morro Bay, my little home away from home. My family has a little beach house that you know of that we are so blessed to use. I like to consider us part-time locals, just because we got married here and I went to high school, go Broncos, like that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it keeps me grounded and I get to refill my cup. It's kind of my happy place. Love it here.
I love that. It is a special place. I've been there. It's very special.
Gina got to experience it. It was such a joy to have her here.
That's awesome.
Very, very beautiful.
What a blessing that your family has that available for you guys to use and is so generous with it.
Yes. Shout out to them.
Shout out.
Yeah, right. What? Kern Sprinkler in the house? None of the Ortmans. So anyway, yeah, they're so generous to let us use it. They know we're coming no matter what. If we have to get a different Airbnb, we will. But this place holds, a lot of good memories. And, Nana's been here before she passed away. So, Nana was in the house.
Nice.
So it's a cool place and I love it. So it's kind of neat to be recording from here though.
Yeah, well, I bet you're sitting at the damn ocean, but that's okay because we're in the brand new studio for Rooted Warriors.
Yes, we are.
What?
We're excited.
New studio.
We're still waiting. We're waiting a few things. We got all of our furniture pretty much is in. We're gonna get a tapestry Greg's gonna do for us. We're going to set up a green wall.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can do
Is it a tapestry of life?
Tapestry of love.
Nice.
Yeah, right? So we're excited. We're going to have a little area over there for the green wall that's going to have our reels. So that way we can put those on TikTok and those sorts of things. But we got a nice fridge full of delicious drinks.
Yummies.
And I mean, Lauren helped herself. I helped myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shout out to Twisted Tea. We're burning one of my famous candles.
Yes.
That I've been making.
You make candles.
I do now. Yeah.
That's one of them right there. Pumpkin.
I usually have a hobby of the quarter. That's my hobby of the quarter.
I do that. I do that
It's
often.
ADHD problems. So, yeah. So,
What's yours right now?
Oh, me?
Good
right
question.
Now? Oh gosh, I can't. If I say it out loud, then people are going to start DMing me. Rhinestoning cups.
wow. It's almost Christmas time.
I know,
Oh.
and it's.
Hey, I
it's
know someone that
horrible.
can build you a website. I'm just joking. That was a joke. It was a joke.
Slightly Upset Studios.
I know, right?
This
This is brought to
is
you
brought to
guys.
you. The best thing was Bob was listening to our last podcast. He's like, wait, all of your sponsors are our businesses.
Cross sponsorship,
well,
baby.
You gotta start small, buddy.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Oh my goodness.
So how are
That's
you doing
right.
this week, Gina?
I'm doing well. I cannot complain at all. I just took a quilting class.
What, you old
Get
lady?
out.
I know. Well, I'm a grandma, so
You
I
are.
have to start doing these things.
Yeah, it goes with your sweaters.
So my daughter is having a baby, and my son just had a baby, and then I have 2 more babies. So I'm gonna start making some quilts.
Love it.
Yes.
Very cool.
Thank you to Adam's
Wow.
aunt, Nikki, for showing me and spending the day with me
Shout
yesterday. Shout out.
Awesome.
Aunt Nikki.
Aunt Nikki.
So what's up with that? You
Yes.
want to learn how to quilt. I want to learn how to knit. Like, what are you going to do, Mo? What's your old lady thing?
Oh,
You're
yeah,
making
you need an
candles.
old
That's not
lady
really
thing.
old
I think I'm
lady.
going to get my body
Yeah,
back and
that's not
start
old lady.
stripping.
Oh, I like that.
Old lady
I like
stripper.
that.
I just kidding.
Oh,
I just
that
kidding.
kind of grandma.
I'm kidding. No.
She
You
a
know what?
bad grandma.
I want to make baby food for the. I do. I want to make baby food for the grandbabies.
That's a great idea.
Why are you laughing over there?
I mean, because you're gonna like
I know someone that can design you a label.
yeah,
Okay, see?
some smash some vegetables.
Hey, smashing
Yeah.
grandma. Yeah.
That's what you could name it.
Grandma.
You could label it "Smashing Grandma."
I can see it being very cute. I will buy it from you.
Thank you.
For my grandbabies.
It will be. I will use organic. Just to
it will
make you
be
happy.
very rich.
Oh.
It will be rich.
It will be very rich.
That's so dumb.
It
Actually,
will
I
be
don't
the
know.
Rolls Royce of baby food.
I don't do anything half-assed, so that's for sure. No,
She's like, these
I really-
bananas are imported.
I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just floating about still.
Well, she's making candles, so that's
I'm in
something.
candle phase right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now.
And starting businesses and such.
Well, yeah. I
You're
gotta
going
keep it
crazy.
Just an overachiever.
It's ridiculous.
Get it together.
Pull your crap together. We're going to go tomorrow for our IV, our vitamin IV. We're pretty excited about that.
Yes.
Tell
you
the
need that.
listeners about it.
We're gonna go get IVs.
They're IVs.
So we'll do another shout out, but B12 Love in Livermore is where we have gone several times.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go on vacation and I don't want to get sick. I'm tired all the time because I'm old, so I'm gonna go get some injections to make me feel better. And Monica can't do anything half-assed, so she took a mini vacay from work, and now she's back at work and she's gonna go hard. So she's gonna need some vitamins
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
When
And let's be clear that these are legal injections and good for you. I'm just
they're vitamin injections, just so it's a vitamin injection place. So, yeah, that
No, I'm
is
excited.
What, yeah,
You know,
what
and then
we're
we're gonna go do something else
Heck
next
yeah.
week. What's it called? It's a colonic. Is that what it's called?
yes,
We're gonna do that.
You're
together.
hydrocolonic.
We're gonna do
Yes.
that next week, and because I just started back up with working out again. You know, I took a 4-year hiatus from weightlifting, so I'm back, and I'm actually already loving it. I feel so much better. I feel like, you know, because I'm going through perimenopause, I feel like I've lost so much of the testosterone as I'm going through it. So I feel sad. I don't feel as energetic as normal. So since I've been back in the gym, like I'm balls out already. I'm already lifting heavy again. I feel it. I feel great. My joints feel better. So I'm getting excited, but I need to take it up a notch. So I started the diet yesterday, and we are going to do the shots, and I'm going to go do this colonic and see what happens.
Have you ever heard of it?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I've done it a couple different times. There's a a place in Modesto, you can go have it done. And it just really, I don't know, a nice way to put it.
They put a thing up your butt and take your poop out.
Okay, so it's not that, but you sit kind of on this little edge of this hose thing, and it like pushes nice warm water.
You don't sit
into
next to it.
You sit on top of it. You're like this, and you sit on it, and then you pushes nice warm water up there, but it cleans out your colon, right? And
you know what that I was thinking? It's like the best way to hydrate yourself.
Well, yeah, I think it's a good way to hydrate your butt.
I don't know if I left feeling hydrated, but I felt empty.
So I think it's good. I'm going to give it a shot. You know, I'm trying to I'm opening myself up in all ways
Literally.
to things that Gina thinks will be good for me. I'm down for it. I'm excited. So yeah. So what about you, Lauren? How's your week been?
My week has been good. Not much. I just taking the kids to school, raising the kids, doing, we run a heating and air company. So I do a lot of permit pulling and things like that, which is pretty fun.
Tell the tribe members the name of your company.
RM Heating and Air Conditioning. My husband is Rick Massella. He is the owner and operator.
What?
Hey. Yeah.
And so how many kids do you have? Because you made it sound very simple, but I know that it's not.
5 kids, 4 in elementary
Holy
school
cow.
and 1 in high school. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Do they all go to one school besides the high schooler?
So the 4 of them do.
So that's nice. So you
But
can just
it
drop
hasn't
kick.
always been like that. Like I literally used to drive to about 4 different schools in the morning at the same drop off time too at that. And I'm like, cool. So it was a lot of footwork to get them all officially at the same school. And it's not even like in our area. So like that's a whole nother footwork situation that I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's like layers of, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then so you do all the book work and the phone calls and stuff like that for your husband.
And part running.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a huge job.
Yeah. No, like if he's in the field, then I'll just go grab parts and bring him to where he's at and make it easier for him so he can be home by 7:30.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And out the door at what time?
Oh gosh. Anywhere between some days 4:30 in the morning to 6 on a good morning.
Own your own business. It's really easy, guys.
It's
Oh
fine.
no, and then he's like,
Girl.
you call a heating and air company right now and they're going to tell you, oh, hey, we'll be there in 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, Rick's like, oh, I've got 13 calls. I'll be there by 8 p.m. tonight. I'm like, Jesus.
He's got 5 kids to feed.
We also will see you tomorrow.
and 4 of those are girls, right? So
Right.
he's like, I have mouths to feed and makeup to buy.
Oh, yes.
So true. So true. I remember when I had to put my daughters on a budget and budget everything that they did because they were out of control.
Yeah.
I thought they just wanted to spend time with me, but they were just taking me to the mall for
No.
shit.
Yes. Has nothing to do with us.
Lessons learned.
Nothing to do with
Lessons
us.
learned.
Anybody with a daughter knows that.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, no.
I
You're
can't
a
even-
tough chick. You're a super warrior girl. That's a lot. You have a lot on your plate.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
And what time do you get up to go work out?
I get up every morning at 4:10
Oh my God.
and I am at the gym.
Good grief.
I am at the gym by 4:55 to start. So we do group fitness workouts. So not like a Planet Fitness type girly, like a group fitness things. And so we're in there for the 60 minutes and bust out for that whole hour and then come home and start packing lunches and waking kids up and
Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
And if that
It's what you
wasn't
do for yourself.
enough, she's
Yeah.
inspiring.
It's literally what I do for myself. Like I literally even went this morning, like same thing every single day just to keep my routine the same for me.
Yeah, it's smart.
Yeah.
You got to do something that fuels you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when my kids were little, that's exactly how I did it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd get up early, do that, come home, get stuff ready for the day, wake them up. And it was about us. You know,
Yeah.
it was about me,
yeah.
which it's about you. So I like that.
I do. And we can't pour from an empty cup.
No, our cup has to be full.
Yeah. So it's good to find ways to.
I feel like so many women out there run into that problem. This is like a big deal that they forget to really pour into their own cups also, and remember that they can't help their babies and their families if they don't, type thing. I think we forget about ourselves. So I think it's really inspiring that you do that, and that Mo's going back to work out like that. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is awesome that you're going back.
Yeah,
Good
you know,
for you.
it's time. You know, it became where I had the arthritis issue. I had other issues, so I was like, oh well, I'm just gonna quit this. When it was probably the only thing that was keeping me from those issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's a great stress reliever for me. So I love it. And I never stopped walking during that period, but walking's just not enough for me. And it's not enough to get rid of the stress. Like, I need to lift. Makes me feel better.
Yeah. Especially we start
People
losing
get
muscle.
to live.
What's that now?
I said people get to live when you work out.
The fuck does that mean?
That means you don't have it's an out. It's an out. Like, people get to live when you get a chance to work out. Like, what does that mean?
I think the ocean air is getting to you, Andy.
It's a good out.
No, it is. It is a good out. You're exactly right. Well, Lauren, let's get into this episode today with you. We're super excited to learn all about you and about the transformations and the obstacles you've had to overcome.
How long have you been married?
Oh gosh, Rick and I just celebrated 13 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But we've been together 16 years now. Yeah,
How did you
been
guys
one
meet?
hell of a
She said it's been one hell of a journey.
hell of a journey. It's been lifetimes within itself. If you've ever been around one of the Massella boys,
You understand, right?
you know. How did we meet? Wow. A good old Linden Orchard party.
Yeah,
Is
we've all
how
been.
we met.
We've all been to this. We're all from
Yeah.
the rural areas, so we
Yeah.
had them here in Ripon too.
And it literally was. It's so cliche. It was literally like love at first sight type shit, right?
awesome.
Like, we literally met at this party and have been together every single day since then.
Wow.
We have 5 children
Beautiful.
together. Like, we own a business. We have, like, all of it happened because of this party. And I didn't even live in Linden. So yeah, I lived in Modesto, and I worked at like this place that his neighbors worked at. So they were like, come hang with us this weekend. I'm like, all right, cool. So I did. And there we went. And then, yeah, Rick was like, you should move here. I'm like, there's no jobs here, dude. Like, where would I work? And he's like, go to the pizza parlor. They don't know you. They'll hire you over there.
They don't know you.
Yeah, they don't know you. They want to know your business. Like, they'll hire you. I'm like, all right. So I did.
That's awesome.
And I hired her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sat
How long
down.
did you work for us?
Oh, man. I spiraled quick.
But it was a while because
It was-
yeah.
It was like 2 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. My interview was great. I sat down with her and her lovely mother and for about 45 minutes, and we spoke about everything except for my pizza skills. And I had a job.
Yeah. We probably gossiped the whole
Yeah.
entire time.
Literally.
Yeah.
Your pizza skills were
Literally.
secondary.
Literally.
You were hired because you were the personality hire.
Absolutely. And she was
Guaranteed.
like, you're working with Gina.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Rad. Awesome.
And so your journey with
No.
Rick, how did that? So you guys lived in Linden. You worked for me, and what spiraled quickly.
Okay, so let's get into it. So
This is the thick of it. No.
this is it. So Rick and I fell into a deep addiction. I was already introduced to methamphetamine. And so I obviously I didn't introduce him, but I kept it around, right? And so we fell really hard into this addiction, and then here comes a child, right? And so, but we didn't realize when we were young, we don't realize what we're doing, and that we brought a child into this, and along comes CPS, right? And so lost the one child, went through programs, and got pregnant again, got out of program, got the first child back, relapsed. I single-handedly manipulated the drug court drug tests in to being able to provide them a clean test while I was not clean at all. Once I got busted, I did that for about 11 months. And once I got caught doing that, obviously Rick was guilty by association, but he was guilty as hell. They took both the kids, and because my oldest was in the system already, she was much more crucial of a case. She was adoptable. She was actually going through the process to be adopted out by her foster mom. It was crazy. It was a whole 4.5-year battle with CPS and the foster system and drug court and programs. And it wasn't until I still had my reservations, and it wasn't until the judge one day told me that Rick and I were no longer, by the state of California, Jillian and Janelle Massella's parents. And we were like, what the fuck? How?
Right.
Like, I birthed that human. How do I lost all my rights. I lost my visitation. We lost everything with her. She was going through the adoption process. Those parents wanted her. And so I don't know, California is a women's court, and it was up to me to file a 388, which is an appeal to them adopting my child out. And so then it was just like on me, and I'm like, yeah, I got this. Like, this is my fucking kid. Give her back. Right. And so I did. I worked my ass off, me and my husband together, and through programs, like I said, 4.5 years. And we finally got our case closed. We got our babies home. We got everything was
Yay.
just done. And we got to start building our lives together as a family, because really it was the first time as a family that we had been together. And it was all four of us, like, at once, all of a sudden, because it was just me and Rick, right? And then kids just started getting taken. And so now all of a sudden we're sober, we're no cases no more, and we're all under one roof. And now we're like, okay, let's do this. And then here came another baby and another baby.
Did having that time away from her and almost losing her, did that make you guys, being a young couple, appreciate it so much more when you had that family unit back?
So much more, and a lot of guilt too.
Yeah.
Like, I then gave birth to my third child, and she was just a baby, and I was breastfeeding her, and I stopped breastfeeding her immediately when my kids came home, because I felt like that was taking time away from them.
Yeah.
And I lost so much time with them. Like, I didn't want anything to come between me having that time with my girls.
Yeah.
So, like, I did anything just to make them feel seen by me.
Do you feel like you continue to do that even with them being older now, that you don't want to take that time away from them?
Yeah, except for the high schooler one.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's normal. That's normal.
Nothing I do, she sees me.
Yeah, that's just how that is. Everyone's like that.
Yes, I continue. I do. I still a little, and she remembers it. That my two oldest, they do remember it. They remember the foster parents. They remember their names. Like, they remember all of it.
How old were they?
Jill, by the time she came home, she was 5.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, she has some pretty shitty stories of living with these people too. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And you almost, like, you know what I mean? Like, they were going to put her with these people, and
Yeah. I mean, there's no replacement for a parent.
Mm-mm.
And,
None.
So I'm so happy that you turned your life around and were able to take your children back.
Absolutely.
Because that's everything. I mean,
everything.
As a parent, there's nothing more important than my children. Nothing else matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm very happy that you're back.
Thank you.
How long have you been sober now?
I have been sober. What is it? 13 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. And do you see it as an ongoing battle that you have, or do you feel like that's done? It's dead. You're over.
No, it's done and over with. It's like we do have active people in our lives who are family, and they are still actively in their addiction, and it just doesn't even faze me like that no more. I just think, like, how disgusting. Like, you're how old and you're still doing this, or, you're still living the same. I just look at it like God, I'm so glad I don't live like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Always. I have no want.
What what advice would you give to other moms that maybe are in that situation right now where you feel overwhelmed and it just seems hopeless, and maybe you feel like you got too far and you don't know how to turn around, and like what did you lean on to get you through those really hard times? I'm sure you struggled with those really, really, really deep hard times.
Yeah. Honestly, as crazy as this sounds, I thank CPS every day for having stepped into my life, because I can't answer that. I don't know, there was no way around it for me, or let me just go into this program. Like, I had to be forced into this life, or I was going to never quit.
Right.
There was no
So the
end for me.
situation itself woke you up.
The situation
Is
itself
what
woke
you're
me up.
saying?
I was arrested one day, and then I thought, I'm going to get out, and then somebody's going to give me my kid, because when I was arrested, the cops took my kid too. So I'm like, well, I'm going to get my kid from somewhere, right? But no, then I had to go to court and found out, like, there's a whole nother world out there than what I have only known. And so it just opened my eyes. And,
Wow.
and people do like look at programs and they look at all those things like it's a downfall, right? But no, like the drug court system and programs, and they really truly are here to help us and to get our lives back on track. And so if anybody ever has the opportunity to get themselves checked in, if you're ever struggling, do it.
Amen.
Do it.
Yay. Yes.
You're worth it. Your family's worth it. If you don't have children, you are worth it. Like,
yes.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. How profound you are. I love your story.
So once you got your children back and you were working on your sobriety, what kind of healthy habits did you start adding into your everyday routine?
Nothing.
Okay. Not the answer.
That was
I was
enough,
looking for.
Not
right?
a damn thing. Nothing. I just was sober, right? And I was just trying to live one day at a time every single day with my children, and technically being like a new mom, and and I just completely, like, 5 years went by,
Right.
And next thing I know, I'm like this giant thing. Like, was so big, and I was so uncomfortable in my own skin, and just then became depressed all the time. And so then I really didn't try to do anything,
Right.
Yeah. And then we moved to San Diego.
Oh my gosh.
And that, I there was a dream there, right? And it completely was ripped right away from us, like almost immediately. And so what family we did have there, we didn't have no more. And so we were just in this place struggling. I mean, we're struggling in the first place, and then we're struggling in San Diego of all places. And, then I fell even deeper into this depression, and I was just so like, God,
Wow.
like, why, when? And so then we moved back home, and then that's when we just started changing things around. We're like, well, we're paying $1,700 a month in rent. Like, that's somebody's mortgage. We could do that.
Right.
Let's do that. Let's make that a goal. So, like, actually our first goal was my husband started. He's like, I want to lose weight. I'm tired of being big.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, you do that. He's like, I found this place, actually. I'm like, cool. It's this
You're sweet.
challenge place. You lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks, and, you roll over to the next challenge, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, cool, you do that, bud. And it's $600. I'm like, cool, you do that, bud. And then he did. And he lost, like 60 pounds in 6 weeks. I was like,
Typical guy.
I know, fucking asshole,
Typical
dude. Oh, that's not
guy.
even the beginning of his.
Oh, way to cotton picking, man.
See, we're not talking about his weight loss journey.
That's on your next episode.
Sorry, guys.
Wounded warriors.
Y'all would mute him several times.
We have one of those.
But he did, and I'm sitting there making all his food, and I'm like, like, I could do this, right?
If this fool can do it.
Yeah.
If this lazy fool can do it, I can do
Hey,
it.
sign me up, bro. Like, can I try this with you? And that first 6 weeks, it was very like, you know, my husband's over here. Now he rolls over, right? And now he's down 100 pounds total, like actually. And I'm like,
unbelievable.
what the fuck, dude? And I'm only down 14. And I'm like, how discouraging, right? I'm like, what the hell, dude? I wear weight vests. I go twice a day, like
eating egg whites,
dude. Literally, like actually downing these protein shakes. Like, what the fuck, man?
What's happening?
And you know, I got discouraged and like I quit. It was like, I'm not doing this shit. I was like, all this is fake. Everybody in these pictures is fake. And this whole place is fake, even though.
Your husband's proof.
I worked out with like 3 of those people in the pictures, like every day, you know, like they like post their transformations on the wall and stuff. And I'm like, they're fake. And she's all standing next to me. She's like, no, I'm not.
She's like, I'm right here, actually.
I'm like, no, you are. But I just went back, you know, with the encouragement of my husband and the trainers and my best friend, and started crushing it and became obsessed. But that was like one of our goals after we got clean, you know, was to lose some weight. And then we started to. Then we're like, ooh, we're on a roll. Let's buy a house. Let's start a business. Like, let's do some shit. This is cool.
Let's rock this world.
Yeah.
So how heavy were you at your heaviest?
Oh, at my heaviest, I was 245.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Do you find that this, even like working on this battle with your weight, also helps you with your, you know, with your addiction as well? Just having something to really focus on and to, like we were talking about outing things, like, you know, have a place to out things. Does it help you with that, or is it just kind of?
You know, it does help with like other things, but I really feel like with the addiction part, like I said, back to. Like I really am over it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't feel like with that part, I don't think I need the outing anymore, because like I'm just so over that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like maybe your thing wasn't that you have an addictive personality, because certain people, they get addicted to drugs because they have that personality.
Right.
And they like hang on forever.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Or switch it for something else.
I was having
Right.
a conversation yesterday with somebody that called me too skinny.
You can't win.
And yeah.
No, you can't.
Can't win.
And
You
then,
can't.
so I just kind of, I lost it for a second.
Sorry, I can't stop laughing because it brought back a memory of when Gina and I were moving. We moved all this crap into the studio, and the studio is upstairs. And we carried this really heavy table that we had. Plus, we carried all the chairs up, everything up. And anyways, we get the table up here. I'm laying on the ground, hooking up the microphones, and I'm like, and Gina's like, so have you looked into the shot yet?
Oh my.
So I think it's funny that she's over here talking shit about people saying she's too skinny when she was clearly indicating that I needed the shot.
Oh my God.
I love you and I worry about you. She was so out of breath. And I was like, what are you doing?
Wow.
I was
She
like,
was gently urging.
The funny thing is, I didn't even realize I was out of breath until after she said it. I was like, why'd that bitch say that? And I was like, and I was like,
She's like, she's like screwing this, like it's literally a finger movement.
Oh my God.
And she's like, and I'm like, what is happening? Have you talked to your doctor lately?
Oh
I don't
my
know what to
God.
say.
I'm asthmatic, okay?
Here's the thing is in my anger and I thought that I didn't know that at my biggest that I was bigger. So at my biggest I was about 258
Okay.
before I started my weight loss journey. And the thing I think that bothers me the most, and then would maybe bother me about, is like, I don't want to be defined by things. I want to be defined by who I am right
As a
now, because
person.
it took me 50 years to get here.
Yeah.
I don't want to be defined by my weight or who I was 10 years ago or 20 years ago, or like there's no like middle anything. You're
I
too
think it's just
fat, you're
hard,
too
yeah.
thin, you're too this, you're too that, you're too nice, you're too mean. You know what I mean? It's like there's no just equal anything to anything.
It's hard as a woman, because I think that as a woman, we're always judged by our looks, whether we like that or
Always.
not.
Oh, yeah.
Always. And you know, the 245 is the first time that I finally even stood on a scale, really.
Oh.
So there's probably a time, I mean, I'm telling you, I should have scrolled earlier. I mean, there's pictures where you look at me and you're just like, there's no fucking way that is you.
Same.
But my pants they were a size 22.
So I was 22, 24.
Yeah.
So we're the same.
And then when I did my weight loss, I don't know, my body just finally kicked in because I did that first challenge, the 6 weeks. And like, I say I only lost 14 pounds, but 14 is quite a bit.
Yeah.
But my pant size went from that 22 to like a 14. And then all of a sudden my body just like kicked into gear.
Yeah.
And in the next 3 months, I lost like 70 pounds. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this.
All right.
And then that's when I'm like, okay. And then I started getting wow, are you, Lauren circa, 2009? I'm like, yeah, no, fuck you. Like, no, this is actually a healthy Lauren.
People always think negative. So
Right.
if somebody who is bigger loses weight, they must be doing drugs.
Right.
They must be, doing coke or something. It's constant. I hear other women say shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
And then like for women, I feel like especially having children and then we all have a story. We all go through all these challenges. And I don't know about you guys, but for most women, we live on a survival. It's like we're surviving every single day. And just what that can do to our bodies and how it can stump something, right? So you say, I gave up because nothing was happening. It's like it almost takes your body long enough to get itself out and regulate itself out of that survival mode.
Yeah.
You know?
And also,
speaking of that whole sorry, Mo, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, speaking of that survival that she's talking about, like, isn't that kind of what we're all doing? And for people to make comments about whether you're too big or whether you're too thin, and not, like you said, not really focusing on the things that matter. It's so fleshy. It's so worldly. It's just not. It's like we should be so far beyond even judging someone based on something so superficial.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's just
on my bag of bones.
So young. It's such a young, like, who cares though, girl? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, you are you, and what is it my business to judge you? And why would I waste my time there when I could be doing something far more positive with that thinking and that energy?
Right.
I just don't understand that.
I think it starts with us
Agreed.
though, right, Andy? So like, I think us and our tribe members being mindful about that when we're in our everyday lives, because we all do it. There's not one person, not one woman that you talk to.
We've all been through it for sure.
But not just being through it. We all judge off that, whether we think we do or not, we do. So I think us being mindful of that as we go forward in the upcoming weeks and months, to remember and reflect back on this episode and think in our mind, you know what? I'm not going to judge her by how she looks. I'm going to judge her by how she presents herself.
By her
and for who she
character.
is.
Yeah.
And I think it's a hard thing to do because we're wired to do the opposite.
We're in a culture.
It's such like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere.
And it's such a confidence thing. It's like a maturity of your confidence sort of thing. Like we instead of, like Gina just said, the culture, instead of letting that define you, instead of like, look at even like Lauren comes in with this big story. There aren't a lot of people that go through that kind of story and have that kind of ending, that positive ending. And she did. I mean, what a blessing. You know what I mean? Like, what a fight, what a testimony. Like, that is just, like, that to me is what we should be capitalizing on. And it is something you have to remind yourself kind of every day to focus on that type of stuff about other people. But we should normalize it. Totally.
Yeah.
And then I noticed, Lauren, over the years, I've known a lot of people and seen a lot of people that have had addictions with methamphetamine as well as cocaine. And I noticed that when they're recovering from that, they gain a lot of weight. And I don't know if that's because they're seeking sugar or if it's just messed up their metabolism. What do you think?
I think it's like the whole metabolism thing, right? Because here we go, we go days without eating, you know, and or even drinking anything, I mean, not even water, so I think that, the depriving your body of just every fucking nutrition out there And then you come into the sobriety. And I think it is like all addicts, you know, because alcoholics too, when they quit, like
They do
they're
the same
fucking
thing.
eating, drinking, you know,
Yeah.
everybody. It's just, yeah, I think it's just one addiction for another,
Right.
you know, like, okay, I can't smoke dope, so I'm going to fucking eat hella, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just, it's because you're bored, right? And
Yeah.
like one thing when I had quit smoking cigarettes, it was more of this for me, the hand
Right.
motion of there being a cigarette in my hand, you know, so that was, you know, then you're trying to trigger that away from it. So I
Right.
think it's just depriving your body of it, and then you just go balls out, balls
out.
grub, dude.
I remember
Store
during
it.
Maddie's dad's addiction and the time that I spent with him. One time, I think he had been sober with me, he spent 1 solid year sober
Yeah, I remember
when
that.
we were raising Maddie. And I remember when you don't, like, I don't feel like I have an addictive personality. And it, you know, to things, because I could be like, nah, I don't want to do that anymore. And maybe I'm just blessed in that way. So it was hard for me to understand, right? Because if I'm like, no, I just won't do it anymore. He went through this whole thing where he would say, like, in the deepest part of it, where he would do meth and then he would smoke weed to
counteract
even
it.
that out, but then he would drink to get back to here, but then
Yeah.
do the meth next again. And
She
he
used to
had a
stowboy.
system. He had a system, you know, of how, I mean, and I can't imagine now that I'm outside of that world.
Yeah.
If I think about it, the amount of like demons and monsters that you have to fight during that addiction, you know, and not to have that type of personality, but to watch somebody go through that, not understand it, you know.
Painful.
And people would tell me all the time, you need to go to Al-Anon,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because you're a codependent, you know, you have
that
just
personality, though.
just the same addiction as he does. It's just, you know, very different.
She wants
And
to
I'm like,
save
what?
everyone.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
That's her personality. She's an empath.
But I think that you have a great story. And then, so you still continuously go to this gym. Do you work there?
No. So the gym that Rick and I originally had went to, they unfortunately ended up shutting down. But for there was a trainer there who specifies in powerlifting training. And so he had his own gym, powerlifting gym in Manteca. Well, then he ended up relocating to Stockton, which worked out in a lot of our favors. So that's where I'm at now, which is right down the street from my house. And it's still like essentially the same thing. Like we're still doing like those group fitness workouts, like the camp provided for us.
Great.
Yeah. And then there's the whole powerlifting aspect if you want.
And so you compete. Am I wrong?
I do. I did compete in a USPC comp, powerlifting. That was fucking wild. so much adrenaline, so fun. You know, and it's like pushing your body to some massive limits that like you never even knew you could do. Benching fucking 157 pounds. Like what? That's crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
That is awesome.
So what do you think? How old are you? You're going to be 40 eventually.
Gina, stop.
So I'm
Call
just
her
saying.
out.
I'm
I think
actually
she's-
36.
Are you?
Yeah, I'll be
So I
I'll
knew
be
somewhere.
37. Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
She's still a
'Cause
baby.
She is a baby.
Baby.
But to have learned from this journey, right? To have come out of this journey, right? What would you say is like the most impactful thing that you've learned that you can pass on to women? You know?
Put me on the spot there, Gina. What with the weight loss?
Just in
with-
general.
with the journey. So maybe what I'm trying to say is like the older I get, I think because you're still young, and there's still so many lessons, and you're still in the thick of raising babies and this journey, and mentoring your own children and modeling for them, you know. What I see now at my age is like how important time is and how important relationships with women are and supporting women and then raising. And I'm going to assume, right, that in your relationship with your husband where he leads your household and you get to be the wife,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And so raising your daughters and in that way, and how important it is to raise our daughters, you know.
Yeah.
In such a way that we're supporting each other and building this kind of community, right?
Yeah.
So just, I guess, you know, maybe a lesson that you've learned in the journey, I guess, maybe is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
You know,
Keys to
That
life.
was a long way about it.
I'm still trying to think.
I gave you time to think.
I was trying to give her time to think about it.
Keep going. No.
I was hoping I said something inspiring.
Man, one of the biggest things I have learned in my life and journey is, you know, I listened to the podcast, and I was listening to the tribe one, you know, and about having your tribe, and I think I have like one person other than my husband. I have about one person who is my person.
Which a lot of women
Do.
That's it.
Because we can't trust
you know
other
what?
women.
Yeah.
No,
That's all
you
you
cannot
need.
trust other women
Right.
at fucking all.
That's the
and
problem.
that has been my biggest lesson.
Word.
Is stop trying to please the other people. Like worry about you and yours.
Right.
Do not worry about what other, you know, what Tom, Dick, and Harry are doing with their fucking date and their life. Like,
Preach
who
it.
gives a shit?
Preach it.
Do you build your family, build your life, raise your fucking kids, and the fuck with everybody else. Like, because I went so long trying to just fucking please people, and all I did was just
Hurt yourself.
hurt myself and
Right.
just be depressed. And I'm like, you know, and now I'm just a blunt bitch. And maybe that's why I only have one person in my tribe, but
It's all good.
it's totally fine.
There's like a quote out there. It's called what is it? You get tired of setting yourself on fire to keep other people
Yes.
warm.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and then if I post my achievements, you know what I mean? Like people think, you know, like I'm just some uppity bitch or, you know, something
you're
like that.
bragging,
I'm
or
like,
you're bragging.
yeah. I'm like, do you know, I used to have to decide if I was going to buy fucking milk or, you know, applesauce today. So the
Right.
fact that I could buy both of them motherfuckers, like,
Right.
Yeah.
I make no apologies
Yeah,
for
I
doing
am-
well financially.
yeah,
And
no, I don't either.
I recently had, you know, a situation where, you know, everyone, of course, has their opinion on you, right? Whether you like that or not, good, bad, ugly, indifferent. But I had a friend of mine who told me after people were kind of judging me on the whole financial thing, said, well, you know, I told you not to buy that Mercedes. And here's my thing. I don't really give a shit.
yeah.
I bought the Mercedes because I worked fucking hard for it and I can pay for it without putting my family in debt.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that buy things that they can't afford and they get themselves and their family in debt
Right.
for
For
it.
years.
So I will not make apologies for that.
Never.
So really, it is 100% true that we have to stop living for other people. We live for ourselves, our family, and God, nothing else.
That's it. Amen.
So
But I do think that a lot of times we do find ourselves with one
There's always that
one person. What I have learned is that there are good women out there.
there is.
There are.
And if there's not, we need to start making some. And we need to
We need to
start
become them.
changing-
We need to become
Yes,
them.
we need to start changing people's view on the fact that we do need women and we do need righteous women and women with morals, and
the
women who will
morals.
stand up for you and be your tribe, because now I realize how much I need my people, my women. I can't live alone on bread. I can't live alone with just my partner, because he's not
enough.
He's not enough. And a very wise woman, and I think I've said this on the show, but she's like 87, and I had gone through a breakup, and she told me, stop looking for my soulmate. Stop looking for the love of my life, because a man can't fill that spot that women can, because they can understand you. A man cannot understand everything about us. We're wired so different, and they can try. And I'm not saying men are bad, because men are amazing and our counterparts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they still can't fill us a way that we need to be filled.
No,
you
absolutely.
know?
I agree with that.
And women need to build women up and stop being catty and stop
Talking
saying
shit.
things. Yeah, talking shit. It's
No, it
hurt.
gets
It's
old.
hurtful, and we need each other.
And
you
being
know?
so emotional.
Yeah.
You know, everything doesn't
Well,
have to
there's-
be about your
sorry.
feelings. Everything does not have to be about your feelings, ladies. This is something that we deal with daily with other women that we see in public, we work with, whatever. Everything is about feelings instead of facts.
Right.
And we need to stop that.
Yeah.
Even though that's
Yeah.
part of what makes us women is our feelings, we need to stop overthinking every little
Oh,
thing
yes.
someone says, or if they look at you sideways or whatever. Just take it for what it is.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson we can learn from our counterpart males who do that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something that we can
True.
glean from our
It
males.
is true.
Well, Lauren, thank you.
You know-
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, that's like it's like redefining feminism. I think they had like a really good idea with trying to create feminism as it wasn't like the way it was supposed to end up. We were supposed to build each other up. In other words, make each other more successful in our homes and our
Yeah.
daily lives and things like that. Not
Yeah.
try to compete or try to bring some sort of dominance over males or anything like that. It was just supposed to be that tribe, like Gina was saying, that lifting each other up, and somehow along the way it got really lost.
Well, yeah, and I think that they were fighting for certain rights for us too that I think that we could all appreciate.
Of course.
But it went way the wrong way at this point. And
Sideways.
Sideways. And it's not about us against them. It's about us as women and being better and stronger together. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today. It
for
has
having
been
me.
a privilege to be in your presence.
Aw,
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you so much.
Yeah.
Lauren's story of transformation is a powerful reminder that real change goes beyond the physical. It's about the strength that we gain and the lives that we reshape in the process. Her journey shows us that no matter what challenges we may face, transformation is always possible. Remember, your own journey isn't about what you lose, but what you stand to gain. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and celebrate each and every step that you take forward. This is Mighty Mo. Feel blessed, be blessed.